Real thoughts, real trades, real journey. A video journal documenting the lessons learned on my journey to becoming a disciplined trader. Welcome to Trading the Journey. I'm Neil, and today I want to share a trading day that taught me one important lesson. Let's see what the market had to teach me. So yesterday was a very disappointing, grueling day. 3 trades, 3 losses, and they weren't graceful losses either. I really felt a huge hit to my confidence, to my ego. I mean, I really, I took plays that I saw were A+ setups, and they didn't work for one reason. I don't know why they didn't work. They didn't work. The market in the beginning at the open shot up. You got this range here, started right here. It shot up. In my book, pretty massively. I waited, got in on this candle right here. I shorted it, even though my bias was bullish for the day. I shorted it. It went sideways, and then it decided to pop and stop me out. And the actual trade that happened should have been done right here at 9:34 or 35 a.m. When this candle popped and it cleared the pre-market high, that was the candle to get in on. I recognized it, but I skipped it because because I saw a massive pop in the beginning. We're going from around 29,000, 662, all the way up here, 30,049. Not even really 100 points. I mean, it was just it was an irregular move that I saw. And that was it. So when it turned around and stopped me out, I waited a little longer for another move in. And I took another trade, another short. Going back here, I took another short. This time was, I believe, right here. And it just played with me a little bit and then popped up again. And this one was just a sudden pop. Out of nowhere. It was just a sudden pop. Actually, it might have been right here, but because this candle cleared. I mean, it was a very disappointing day, and it really messed with me. And I waited, and I waited, and I waited. And then out came, it finally turned over here. There was a clear, when this bear candle took out the high of the day, came down, pulled back, and then it just turned immediately and went down. I didn't get in until this candle right here. Actually, no, it was this candle here. I got in at this candle right here because after it turned, it's already in a downtrend. It cleared it cleared the swing low, going all the way back, everything to the left here. So it cleared, I got in, and it stopped me out again, somewhere around here. And at that point, I was done for the day. I had to hang it up. I took a real bad blow, to the, my confidence, that I had to shut it down. There were some other trades that happened later. I didn't care at that point. I just wanted to step away from it and not look at it, and as you can see, I mean, the market continued pretty much sideways, and, but looking back on it, the real play was this candle right here at the open, and even this candle and this pullback here, the first trade that I went through, that I took, this first play rejected off the previous day high and continued and popped higher. I could have even gotten in on that candle, probably. It rejected off the previous day high, and that was the one that did it. So it just, yeah, I'm speechless right now. Actually, I switched to on the third trade. Let me correct myself. On the third trade, I switched back to the 2-minute chart, and the market was kind of going sideways here. And when it cleared, this candle right here, that's what I went on. That's the candle I went in on and was stopped out. Yeah, right here. So it was on the 2-minute chart. The other two plays were on the 1-minute chart. But yeah, like I said, after that, I was completely done. I was spent, and it just wasn't a good day. It hasn't been a good week at all. I use Take Profit Trader because the rules are easy to follow. But right now it's getting close to the drawdown, and all I can do is just keep going. Today's another trading day. Tomorrow's another trading day. No, not tomorrow, but Monday. Monday will be another trading day. And we'll just have to just keep driving forward and keep trying to learn and learn to just get in on the plays that I recognize. I recognize this play, and it should have been the first play that I get in on. It's not that I failed. I saw a pop, and it just wasn't. I guess it just wasn't a true pop that I should have gotten in on. I should have waited. What I could have done better was wait on a even bigger pop. I have to learn to really recognize what the plays are. And not try to catch a possible reversal when it probably, looking at the chart now that I'm seeing, the grand scheme of things, looking at the chart now, it's not even that big of a pop. I mean, it diverged. What doesn't even look like that big of a pop, and if I were to, kind of map this out a little bit, let me see where I was. It's just looking at it, you can see 2961 and then 30,045, not even 100 points. So I need to learn to stay away from those, ones that aren't even that big of a pop. As you can see, it really looks like a grind up more, than anything. And coming back to here, yeah, I mean, it diverged, it went up. So that's it. I mean, that's all I got to say about that. Thank you for joining me for today's lesson. The market has voted. Today's lesson is written. I hope something from today's trade helps you on your own journey toward becoming a more disciplined trader. If today's trade reminded you of something you've experienced yourself, please let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your perspective. If you enjoyed today's journal entry, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that like button on the video and subscribe to follow the journey. Until next time, real thoughts, real trades, real journey.